Okay, so a few days ago during Vidcon, it came out that YouTube is going to really be redefining their rules on creator harassment. And it has a lot of creators, understandably and very reasonably upset and questioning why these things are happening and what it exactly means, because YouTube is in fact being relatively vague when it comes to what exactly they're trying to say here. They said, oh, no, we're going to reveal these policies in the future. Well, what good is that now, right? If you want to change the platform, and look, and I know I've said this before, and I'll guarantee to have to say it again at some point. Whenever YouTube decides that they want to change something and they instantly react, it hurts a lot of people. We know this. This is not uncommon. This is not out of the question. It happens all the damn time. This is true. So we know that that's a thing. We know that that's a reality. But they still don't communicate with us very well. I actually got to spend an hour with the YouTube product team while at VidCon. They had a product bar in the creator lounge. I got to spend an hour talking to a few people. And, you know, what I learned from all of that, ultimately in regards to this situation, the teams don't really talk to one another. The teams don't really discuss with one another. They're very compartmentalized, which is why the product bar was more of an interesting experiment for them, because they wanted to make sure that they could communicate with creators and creators could have their concerns addressed to people who work on those specific teams. Although, side note, when I asked them about what content is or isn't allowed to be monetized, while the woman was very nice and very much tried to explain it in a way that was not giving me anything, no, they can't tell you anything. They won't tell you anything. They just simply won't say it. They go, well, you know, I can't tell you what to post. I can't tell you what not to post. But doesn't that kind of feel like it ties into what's going to be happening with this creator on creator harassment thing? Because ultimately here, there's varying degrees of this, right? And I think the varying degrees are going to be what gets called into question quite a bit. So you've got your standard response video, right? Creator says something, another creator comes out, responds to that. YouTube back in 2013 or 2014 got rid of the video response feature that they used to have, which was a great way for these particular conversations to happen, these particular things to take place. And a lot of people, myself included, wish they would in fact return them. That would be great. That would be fantastic. But unfortunately, they haven't. I don't know why. I don't know why. But you have that. You have the standard response video. Then you've got the videos that don't really do the response, but they do more of just nothing but insults using vulgarity and things along those lines. Those, some people like to argue, are response videos. They're generally not, because you're not really attacking the idea. You're attacking the person. And that is often, I think that in what went down with Crowder and Carlos Maza is kind of what took place. It's being perceived as more attacking the person rather than attacking the idea. The supercuts that Carlos Maza put out showcased all the times that Crowder insulted him, degraded him on a personal level. And even though Crowder tried to say it was all in good fun, it's like, no, it's good fun with your friends. I'm sorry, I don't view any of that as being in good fun. So I think that's going to be the big kicker here is, are you attacking somebody directly for their ideas, or are you criticizing them on a personal level? And that's going to be probably the key aspect of this. Now, a lot of other people have also, talked about the response from the fans, from the people watching. Now, this is where creators are finding themselves in a massive pickle, because predominantly speaking, they have no control over anything, right? They can respond to somebody and they can sit there and say, don't talk to them, don't respond to them, don't do anything. And that's like the basest blanket coverage that they can give. And that's true. There's nothing more they can do. They can't sit there and talk about something without someone out there like watching and then maybe wanting to respond. I've gotten emails from people that I've covered in stories that were asking me to delete the videos because they received torrents and torrents of harassment from what they believed came from my commentary. My commentary, as most of you guys know who watch my stuff, is generally pretty middle of the road and, whatever. I'm a centrist. So, I'm like, oh, that's pretty crazy. Like, I didn't realize that. I've gotten privacy complaints because people have felt like they were being harassed, and they tied it back to my video. So they wanted YouTube to take the video down, so they used privacy complaints. So there always are going to be those facets of the conversation that can never properly be discussed or properly contained or properly even remotely mitigated. There's no way you're going to be able to control what somebody else does. And even if you moderate how you do it, that's still not going to change that. You know what I mean? That's still not going to change that at all. So the problem then becomes on YouTube side of it, how do you handle this? Like I said, I think it's going to go back to what you say about somebody more than, how you say it, right? I think that this is what you may not know, and not a lot of people talk about this, but the bots on YouTube, the ones that process the videos, the ones that look through for what can be monetized or demonetized, a lot of times, and this is true, can tell 100% precisely what you say. Not, generally who it's aimed at, and by that, like whether it's a person, place, or thing, the severity of the language you use, they can read your facial features, your facial expressions, in order to determine how angry you are, and they can listen to the sound and pitch of your voice in order to determine the veracity of which you speak. I mean, the bots, the technology they've created in order to be able to do all this is insane. It's insane. And I don't know where it's going to go next. I don't know where things are going to go next with this, but they have to tread very lightly. They have to tread exceptionally lightly because they are running the risk of alienating a large group of people who have done nothing wrong. And we saw that when the whole Crowder thing was happening, and what they called the Vox adpocalypse was being, a term that was being used, even though, and as I pointed this out before, all of that was already previously talked about, going all the way back to January. Look, it's not my fault. A lot of you don't read what YouTube is doing until it's too late. Watch this channel and you might find out some more stuff. There you go. Because I talk about those sort of things. And I did talk about that, especially creator-on-creator harassment in the wake of Toddy Westbrook and James Charles, and the fact that James Charles is tight with Susan Wojcicki, and how that was going to have a negative impact on all of us. And lo and behold, here we are a few months later. So there's things you got to watch out for when it comes to this platform. And a lot of it is really what you say about people versus attacking or targeting or criticizing their ideas. And I think that is really about it. You can agree with me or disagree with me. That's perfectly fine. I'm waiting to see what they're going to do. I think this is the angle they're going to take with it. It just seems to be the most logical, knowing everything I know about the platform, and as well as my time speaking with them this past week. So anyway, I look forward to your thoughts, your opinions on this one. Let me know down in the comments below. Have yourself a great day, guys, and peace out.